Hey, it's Cara. Welcome to Cara's Basement. With
it's a nice basement you have.
Thank you. Yeah, it's Cara's basement outside of the basement. I wish my basement was like this. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
My lifelong dream has been to sit with Bono. It's been to just simply have a picture taken with Bono, actually, or talk to him, or sit with him, or maybe get a video going. I'd like to thank you.
Yeah.
For making my dream come true.
Hey, I do what I can.
It's, you know what? It's as close as it's ever going to happen.
You don't know.
I appreciate it very much.
Good.
This is not Bono.
No.
It kind of is.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes it is.
The band is Elevation, a great YouTube tribute band, and it really is. I mean, I've never met... This is Danno, by the way. You do have a real name. What is your name?
Yes, Daniel Burrow is my real name.
But we'll call him Danno.
Yes.
I've seen Elevation several times, and I am one of those crazy, crazy people in the front going, ah, screaming. And, you know, because in my head I'm thinking, I'll never get this close to the real Bono. Right. This is awesome. So that must be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good when I have people doing that in the front.
Oh, absolutely.
It helps me a lot.
But don't you wish they were screaming, ah, Danno?
Yeah, they do scream Danno.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
that's good. Thank you. Well, I think what you could do is it's not watching a band just, you know, sometimes tribute bands are just doing their music, you know. And you don't even necessarily have to look like a band to do a really good tribute, although it definitely helps.
Right.
Helps the, you know, the mood for sure.
Yes.
But I've seen a good tribute band do the Monkees. They don't look anything like the Monkees, but love them.
Well,
but,
Tribute to Source.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, I knew they do everything. And they sound amazing.
Exactly. But they kind of channel the energy too, and that's what you guys do. And the look is just like, you know, bonus.
Right.
I was going to say, where's the mullet? Did you ever have the mullet era? Or?
Back in the day, I had a mullet when I had more of that to work with.
Well, when did you start the whole Bono channeling?
The channeling. The channeling started long before the band, I guess. It started about 7 years ago, and I started doing some karaoke in St. Louis, and people would just, and I wouldn't wear the gear, I wouldn't, you know, whatever. I'd just get up there and just sing. Yeah. And people started being like, man, you sound exactly like him and you look like him. They're like, if you got a pair of sunglasses and a jacket and, you know, some earrings, I mean, you're like a double. And, you know, one thing led to another, and before you know it, you're in Ireland playing.
You know, have you played in Ireland?
Yeah, last year we went.
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
It was cool. It was really fast, though. And this is the best part. We debuted in a castle. We played a wedding, a private wedding in a castle. Oh, that's cool. In Shannon, and then we played in Galway the next night at like the best venue, one of the best venues in Ireland. I mean, I didn't know I was going to meet him the times I met him, but I was like, well, I'm sure there's a possibility. I never just, you know, gave up. Yeah. I just figured eventually it's going to happen.
Well, how did it happen then?
In Vegas, it happened on the.
Lots of things happen in Vegas.
That's right. Well, this doesn't stay in Vegas. This has gone all over the world. And but I had been out on a lot of the dates on the Elevation tour. I've been trying to meet him, you know, waiting at the sound check, all the proverbial places, talking in the hotel, whatever. Just never connected. But I had connected with his bodyguard, which, you know, he knew me and stuff. You know, of course, over time, you know, he's like, oh, he sees me in different cities, and he's like, hey, Danno, how you doing? You know, whatever. He knew. But I mean, he can't. You know, I mean, it's not up to him, to be like, okay, you know, Bono, you need to go meet Danno, whatever, you know. So, but I think he told him about me, just here and there, bits and pieces, or like that guy was there again, you know, whatever. From, you know, and so in Las Vegas, he actually, from the stage, reached out to me and pointed at me at the beginning of Still Haven't Found. If you YouTube bootleg people have it, it's right at the beginning of Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, and he reaches out and he points and he says, good to meet you, mate. And he said that to me.
That's awesome.
And then later, at the airport, I happened to find the executive terminal. The plane was on the runway with the lights on, so and the engine's going, so it was like they're either taking off or they're waiting for him to come. Yeah. And so us and a handful of people that knew about it were there, and so there was literally, you know, 10 people that were there when we actually got to meet him and take pictures.
Oh, cool.
And I met Larry. Actually, I met Larry first. Larry got out of the Lincoln, and I was like the first guy that was in line, and he just, I mean, his face was just awesome. It was hilarious. And he's like, and he walked up, he's like, don't I know you? And then he, you know, and then he took a picture with me, and he's like, he said, yeah, you're a dead ringer. And he said that was, but Larry's pretty stoic and stuff, so he moved on. But then Edge and Adam, they just drove through. They didn't stop. It was like 4 in the morning, and it's in the desert, so it's like 40 degrees. Didn't expect, and then Bono came out. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then he recognized me. I guess from the concert. He's like, it really is good to meet you.
Oh, that's so nice.
And then I just said, I love your music, and we gave each other a big hug. And I said, can you sign my jacket? He said, yeah, sure. Bend over, and so that's what I did, and that's exactly what everybody just lost it completely. And then I'm over like this. I got a picture of me like that with him behind me. And the security guard, John, is standing here, and it's just a huge smile on his face, like, "Oh, this is good." And he wrote, and so he signed it, "I am Bono." So
that's awesome.
From then on, it's kind of escalated. But I mean, that was the whole thing. Obviously, it was like I was going to all these shows, flying all over the place, and spending money I didn't have and everything, and but being in the GA lines and stuff too, and promoting the band when I actually didn't even have the band together. I mean, it was a thought, and I knew I was going to do it. But
you know what's amazing about that story to me, and you're a singer, so you'd know this. When I see people on stage doing so, like, "Hey, good to meet you," and I feel like they're not actually making eye contact. That's amazing to me that he really was. That
he really did. Yeah, that was bizarre. Well, earlier in the show too, he reached out, and I got his hand as well.
But you think about it, every show he's doing it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And
half the time when artists do that during a concert, they do that at the exact same moment. So the lighting guy's ready. I mean, it's not like, I see somebody, I'm going to reach for him. It's like, okay, now's time to reach for someone.
Right. It's all scripted. Yeah. And a lot of their shows are scripted.
One time I saw David Bowie 2 nights in a row. This is when I figured that out. I was like 16. I managed to get, like, one night I had bad tickets because I paid for them. The other night I got free tickets. They were front row.
There you go.
So that was the way to go. So I went both nights because I was a huge Bowie fan at the time. But I realized during that second night, oh my God, he's sipping a beer at the same time. He's wiping his brow at the same. It was really, it was freaky. I'm like, is he alive? It was like it was like watching a robot.
Yeah, it was like that with the Elevation tour too, because it was like they didn't change the set list hardly at all. So it was like I was seeing the same show almost. Every time, like in Beautiful Day, he would always run to the other side of the stage and jump. And run up the ramp and jump at the same exact time. I
mean, I wonder if maybe now, because of YouTube and stuff, they do change it up a little more because they realize people are seeing stuff. It's not surprising anymore.
Yeah, right. Everything's out there.
So how is it touring when you have a family like that? That
sucks.
Yeah,
I hate it.
And it's not like you can have the VIP treatment and take your wife on the plane.
No,
with
not
you,
very often. No. And now it's the kid and the wife and the kid. So yeah, unfortunately, I mean, we went to Honduras last year. As well, Cayman Islands. She got to go. That was before we were married. Actually, she went on the Cayman Islands trip, which was fun. But other than that, I mean, it's too much to try to bring everybody along. When you don't have the VIP stuff.
Did she ever, at an inappropriate moment, scream out Bono?
No.
Good.
Never.
I think you would hate that.
She would scream out the Edge if anything. Actually, she wouldn't scream out anything anymore. She's over it. She's like, no, this is the thing that takes you away from us. And, so it's hard, but, you got to do what you got to do.
How do you guys prepare? Do you practice all the time?
No, we never do.
You never practice?
We never practice. We, this current lineup, the guitar player, we practiced twice, and the second time was like hours before the first gig with him.
That's nuts.
Yeah, well, he's very good.
Do you think maybe he rocks? I mean, do you guys kind of rock on your own, listening to YouTube and sing along?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, especially with the new stuff, we're all like listening to it 24/7. And I just picked the songs and said, okay, well, it goes along with whatever U2's doing.
Right.
Obviously, we try to mirror what's going on. So Boots was first, and then adding another, so we'll have 5. 3 others. So.
Yeah.
And now we're adding another, so we'll have 5 already, and the album's been out a week.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, thank you for talking to me. Can I have a hug? I've always wanted to hug.
Of course, you can have a hug.
Yeah.
I'm in.
It'd be hilarious.